4-2-3-1, possession-based, boring football. Side to side, back to the keeper. Inverted wingers, double pivots. Jobby Nielsen, Stephen Total Shite, Neil Shitley, Poundland Peps. Your boys have taken one hell of a fucking beating. 4-4-2, a team full of utter bastards. Get the ball up the park. Big physical Hearts are back, baby. Ando, play the fucking music. What's happening, boys? Are we all good?
Great,
absolutely buzzing.
For anybody gets here, contact. Hearts. It wasn't 4-4-2. We know that. Okay, it was like 5-3-2. But come on, you know what I meant. Before Matty for the group chat starts typing furiously that it wasn't the right thing. We get it, mate. Camden. It's all right, Camden. It was just a wee joke. Hearts are back indeed, Kev. We've not even kicked the ball yet. This is the most excited about Hearts I've been probably since I was a wee boy, because everything about Hearts is just reeking at Hearts, and it's joyful to see. So, welcome back, boys.
Time to be alive.
Exactly. Ando, what's been happening?
A fair bit, man. I've been off on a week and a bit's holiday, but missed you boys. I've not spoken to you in what feels like ages. I think I've missed the last couple of these, but I'm back, raring to go. As you say, big physical Hearts are back, and I've never been more excited about the start of the season than I have been for this one.
Kev, what's been happening?
Not a great deal. I've got a couple of the games in the League Cup, but try to keep my powder dry for next Monday night.
Fuck
Nonsense.
that, Kev.
Exactly.
Our Hearts are back, mate. 2 foot it. 2 foot. 2 foot your excitement, mate. That's what we're all about now.
Oh, if only.
If only. Tam, what's been happening?
Watch it. I've been a bit ill this week, but I've as you say, that it's just all that excitement about Hearts being back that's made me ill this week.
Even listening to you talk about how ill you are kind of dampen my mood, because that's all you fucking spoke about.
That's fucking.
We get it. You're ill, mate. You're an adult, mate.
Ill wee laddie.
Yeah, Ken.
If anyone wants to.
Hopefully this week's sponsored by the top sport guys. It's like medicine or something, like Nuno Wellbeing or something. Help try get used to. Like last week it was Tinder, so that will not be any good for you unless you're looking to murder folk on it or something. But you'll not get a ride after it.
Tam, you definitely need put up on some sort of device and get a good scratch and sniff by a doctor, like, because there's nothing no right with you. Like,
I've been telling that all my life, to be honest. There's something right with me, so it's fine.
It's because he's got Yorkshire pudding, Yankee candles, and bleeds kebab pies for Tynecastle.
Not wrong.
I'm only joking. That's so hard, but I hope you feel better soon. I'll send you a basket of muffins or something. Help you feel better, right?
Just with extra.
Remember I sent you a postcard.
I actually brought that up in the group chat the other day there, to be fair. Yep.
Cool story, mate. Thanks for elaborating.
Sorry. It was a bit many traders.
I thought this really funny thing happened, mate, but I'm not going to tell you about it soon.
I can't remember what was on it. It was your picture of you with the Scottish Cup as a child, Gary O'Connor, and maybe Derek Riordan or something. Tell me the answers to if mini cheddars are biscuits or crisps.
You said something like, are mini cheddars biscuits or crisps? Answers on a postcard, please. So I sent you a postcard and said they are crisps or whatever it was.
I thought you said they were biscuits, actually. But
I've never changed my mind. I've grown up a bit.
You've grown up a bit,
100% crisps. Just end.
I agree. That's what I would have said.
Well, welcome back to This Is My Story podcast. we've been listening back to the last few shows, and we apologise. They've been utter terrible. So we've brought some structure back to the podcast. Well, as much structure as you'll get from this podcast. Remember that the origins of this podcast is pub chat nonsense. So if you want polished, well thought out takes on Heart of Midlothian, this is not your podcast. So we're going to review the season. We are 8 days away from the start of our Premier League campaign at home to Aberdeen. We've just finished our League Cup campaign, which has seen us safely through to the next round. Pre-season is now officially finished. It is now all systems go for the league starting a week tomorrow. So we'll talk about that. We've got a bit trivia. We've got some news, and we'll go through all things Heart of Midlothian, as we also have one of the best performances I've seen from a Hearts side in a while, when we played Sunderland, the Premier League, Sunderland yesterday at Tynecastle, and we Derek McInnes them, just like Derek McInnes does when he's brought his Kilmarnock teams to Tynecastle or Aberdeen or whoever it is, and it was everything I think all of us want to see from Hearts and more. So we'll discuss that in depth. Sound all right, boys?
Sure does.
Magic. Right, Ando, Hearts news.
Aye, right. Well, so the first bit is on Friday, I think it was, or was it early Saturday morning before the game? It was announced that Aidan Denham is away to Livingston on a permanent deal. I'll be honest, it's one of these guys that like maybe could have got a chance in the team or whatever, but I think all things being equal, he probably would have stayed at Hearts a wee bit longer. But nah, because we are obviously in the Bloom era now, it's probably right to move him on and make space for better, more capable players in the squad. Thoughts, boys? Tam?
Aye, to be honest, it makes sense for him to be one of the first to go. We do need people to go, leave the squad, so somebody that's easy enough in terms of their low wage. This is sort of the start of their career. Move them on. He might even get a wage rise now that he's going to be like a first team player. Makes sense.
Well,
he wasn't going to make it at Hearts.
I believe he went off injured yesterday, didn't he? I think
after 5 minutes, I believe so.
Yeah, I think he's picking up an injury.
So, I did think you, Corbett, I thought you would like be saying he was moving for the Gargy Fish Bar to the Minerva or something.
He's going to the Lacapana 11. And if James Wilson doesn't find the shooting boots, he'll be playing for the Lacapana 11 pretty soon as well. But we'll talk about that. But I think you're right, Tam. We're going to see a lot of movement. I think we've got a couple to come in, and then I think you'll see quite a bit of business going the other way. It won't be as easy as what people think, getting people off, depending on where they go. A lot of folk will probably have to take a reduction in salary. Hearts will be pretty big. I can't see them stepping up unless it's people that are going to come in and buy the players. So it'll be a lot harder to get people out than it will be to get people in. But I think that Aidan Denham goes with my best wishes. I don't think he's a bad player. I think he'd be one of those ones that needs to go play first team football, and he's probably not going to get first team football with us. So, makes sense?
Yeah, problem we have is a lot of them are, as you say, Hearts will be the biggest team they'll play for. And they'll know what to lose that. So, you're right.
Yeah. Thanks. Is there a parrot in here?
Might be. Right, so from outgoings to potential incomings, so Andrew McKinley's quarterly video or announcement, whatever you want to call it, he had mentioned in that video about a potential new signing, which I think will hopefully be over the line, cut and dried on Monday, and that's Pierre Landry Cabori. And I'm making that up. I think that might be right. From Transnarva. So a 24-year-old forward. And then there's also news of Thomas Ben Magnuson from an Icelandic team who's a 22-year-old defender. joining the ranks as well across the coming weeks. So, Kev, your thoughts?
From all accounts, I mean, let's be honest, the Estonian league and the Icelandic league aren't regarded as massive leagues across Europe. However, both players, from what I've read anyway, and I think the Icelandic boy's more of a midfielder more than a defender by all accounts. But this is the whole Jamestown analytics sort of model of looking across other areas, other leagues and clubs across Europe and further afield, and picking up possible diamonds in the rough as such, producing them into a decent player, and then hopefully, and if you look at Tony Bloom's success rate across all these other clubs, moving those particular players on for profit, using that profit, bringing better players into the club, it's a steady sort of journey to get to where we want to get. But by all accounts, both players do actually, sound quite interesting. I think the boy playing in Estonia scored ridiculous amount of goals already, or been involved in goals.
12 and 15, Kev.
Was it 24 over the last X amount of games that he's played?
Mental,
30 games and 24 involvements, which, that speaks volumes as far as I'm concerned. Don't know as much about the Icelandic boys, I must admit. It was just what I read this afternoon before I cooked dinner. I just squeezed it in, as they say.
There's a joke in there, right? Squeezed it in while making dinner, Kev. That's multitasking. Well done, big man. Right,
Tam, you must have an inside track on the Icelandic guy, no? You're called Thomas and you're bent. You must know him, no?
I honestly didn't know if that was going to be a supermarket joke or like.
Stick around if you want more jokes from Jim Davidson or Roy Cherry.
Wait, it gets cancelled. Love it. But it's a fair question, Tam. What's the answer?
As I said earlier in the chat, he wears a headband, so I'm all for him.
I think who was it? Peter Haring, the last hair-banded Hearts player.
You would think so. I think so. Unless, no, Barry Mackay probably did actually. He was actually good when he had a hairband, to be fair. Barry Mackay.
And just for everyone else's benefit, excuse me, Tam did drop a wee nugget in the group chat earlier on to say that there is no such thing as a shite player who wears a headband. Prove him wrong. So.
Answers on a postcard, please.
Exactly. Get a PO box just so people can send the answers. But I think that this is the future for us, and if anything can make anybody feel slightly less nervous about any of it, is the fact that Braga was like Division 3 somewhere playing football, and has been flawless so far. So I think it's just one of those things. You're just going to have to trust the process and hope that it works out.
And this will be the 8th signing. Elton Kabanga and Lawrence Shanklin park them because they're just signing contract extensions or new deals or whatever. But yeah, the other ones are like we've got Borshevink, whatever his name is, Braga, Finlay, Karjota, Kizaridis and McEntee. So this will be the 7th and 8th signing of this transfer window. So it's a hell of a squad that's being built. And there's probably a bit in there that we can chat about later on departures. Right? So who do you think is going to have to go in order to make way for this massive squad? But we'll circle back to that. But cool. So that's potential incomings this week. Other bits in the news, we have unsurprisingly been drawn against St Mirren in the Cup for the next round again. I did want to pull some figures on just exactly how many times we've faced St Mirren in the League Cup over the last 10 or 15 years. And the answer is probably 10 or 15. We seem to play them all the time. So thoughts on the draw, Corbett? Happy with it?
We're winning everything, so you have to beat every team that's there. So might as well start with our favourite destination in the cup. Last time we won the cup, we had to knock St Mirren out at St Mirren Park or whatever it's called, the Smisa Stadium. So, bring them on. Be easy. Swat on my side.
Somebody had shared it was either the chat between between us boys, or it was in our WhatsApp community chat, that Derek McInnes has an incredibly good record against St Mirren, but obviously he's going to continue to dominate St Mirren whenever that tie's played. And forgive me, I don't know the exact date; I didn't pay attention. But anyway, any other thoughts on St Mirren in the next round?
It's going to be like it'll be like a Monday night or something like that, won't it? Because they'll probably put it as a TV game or something, so it'll be something daft like that. I've noticed as well that Rangers got the lowest seeded team in the draw at home. Again, and Celtic also managed to get a home draw. Constant. Again, I'd love somebody to pull the stats on when TV started to dictate when and who played who, because I remember, like I've said before, Hearts versus Hibs in the Cup was like hen's teeth. It was once in a decade situation, and now, like I said, we play Hibs almost on repeat in the Cup now that it's on TV, and now Celtic and Rangers only play each other exclusively in semi-finals or finals of TV sponsored cup competitions. They're never drawn against each other in the lower rounds. I know they can't be drawn against each other in this one because the way the seeds work or whatever, but they'll avoid each other in the next round, and they'll probably avoid each other at Hampden until the final, because that's what brings in the TV crowds. I'd love somebody to do the percentage probability of how often they avoid each other in the low rounds of cups, and also and when they avoid each other in TV'd competitions, because it's ridiculous to the point that anybody that had half a brain cell would be like, this seems a bit strange, more than coincidence. But there you go, tinfoil hat, first one of the season, mark it in the calendar. If anybody didn't have Corbett, tinfoil hat, 15 minutes into the first episode of the new season, then you've just won the bingo.
Easy to do, man. Like when they're swirling the balls around in the bowl, it's like the Rangers and Celtic balls have been in the microwave for 10 seconds to heat them up, so they know to avoid them.
That's what Kev was doing pre-dinner as well.
Tam, I was coming to you to say you and your Icelandic pal, you like to swirl balls, don't you?
How did that still come back on me there?
Have you not learned?
You're an easy target, Tam.
We've been doing this for 4 years. Like everything, the buck stops for you on all these things. Let's be honest.
We had pre-season. You had an easy pre-season. Now the games begin. The real podcast has started, so it's business as usual. Right, cool.
And I've just saw my Icelandic friend is actually not in the Valor squad this evening for their game that's currently being played.
Nice.
Yeah. Thanks, Johnny Work. He was the one that said it.
All right.
And then the final bit of news, it's not going to be lost on anyone that Hearts brushed aside Premier League Sunderland 3-0 yesterday in Craig Gordon's testimonial. So we'll cover that match in a little bit more detail. But one thing that I suppose is worthy of speaking about is the attendance at that match yesterday was absolutely incredible. What was it, 17,700? I think, Corbett, you'd said before we started rolling the tapes that obviously season tickets aren't included in that because it's not part of your package or whatever, but that's a massive attendance for an absolute diamond of a Hearts player. Probably the most closest thing to a world-class player we'll see.
Yeah, and I think it'll be up there. He made the comment himself about it's probably the biggest attendance at a testimonial that we've seen probably since Robbo's. We played Newcastle and Robbo's one, didn't we? Mm-hmm. Back in the old days with old Tynecastle before the all-seater stadium. But yeah, it was great to see, and well done Sunderland for bringing 3,500 fans up as well. It felt like an actual, it felt as close to a proper game as we could get. The League Cup games, as much as they've been competitive, there's an edge where you feel that basically Hearts should be winning those games anyway. But obviously this was a real game in terms of opposition. It was a step up in opposition, and I think that carried through in terms of the atmosphere on the day. And we're talking about big physical Hearts being back. We're getting close to Hearts being back in total. We booed the huddle, loved it. Booed Patrick Roberts coming on because he played with Celtic for a season, brilliant, loved it. We booed Craig Levein coming on the screen at halftime. We booed Stephen Presley coming on the screen at halftime. I was like, yes, this is unbelievable. I was like, Hearts are back. I pointed to me, was like, fuck it. Get a minute silence for the Pope on Monday. Come on, why not? We're all back in it. Might as well, come on. We might as well fucking put ourselves back in the map. We are back, baby. It was class to see. But I think I'd seen, I don't know if I half expected it had made its way to social media or on Kickback or something about there was this incident at Lower G. Don't know, did it?
I seen a video of it, aye. Yeah.
Was that you, Kev?
No, definitely not me.
It depends what it was. What video did you see, Tam? What incident was it?
I just seen a boy getting chucked out. Was it not that?
The guy in the maroon t-shirt?
Aye, wee boy.
Aye, no, so aye. Well, that's good. It's the same thing, and that's the one thing that we need to get better at, right? Is that obviously English fans have got they've got two tunes that they can sing. It's that they've got the same, what the tune is. Yeah, they sing do 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 like that tune on repeat, or sing the name of the town that they're in on repeat, like they do it constant. And that's what they were doing. So the guy, they were going back and forth, they were singing, "You're just a shite Alan Shearer" to somebody. I was like, hey, class, man. Belter. What a tune. Like that was like, so they were going back and forth, but then they started, the guy in the maroon t-shirt, they were singing about his wee boy. So they started singing that he was a fat wee bastard, a fat ginger bastard. He's no even yours or something like that is what they were singing, right? So that's what riled him up. He wasn't interested in the back and forth. But the thing that annoyed me was there was Hearts fans being like, chuck him out, just get him out. And I was like, get him out. He's a Hearts fan. Like, there isn't a single steward at any of the Sunderland fans, and nobody's gone like, get them to like, go sort them out. Why are you coming to the home end at our game at our stadium and chuck one of our fans out for what, getting annoyed that folk are singing that his son's no his end when the wee boy was like 6 or something, he was greeting. So I ended up saying to the boy behind me that was like, get him out. I was like, mate, they're singing about his kid. And they were like, he was like, what? I was like, they're singing about his kid, mate. Like, you tell me you would stand there and let your kid get 300 or 400 folk singing that he's a wee fat ginger bastard and that he's no his dad. Like, come on. Like, and why are you wanting a Hearts fan kicked it? And he was like, oh, I never knew that's what they were singing. I was like, aye, but you're still saying kick him out. Like, that needs to get better. Hearts are back, but Hearts fans need to get better at that. That's ridiculous. This is our stadium. We should be going after the away fans and getting into the stewards or getting into the club to police the away fans before they start worrying about what the home fans are doing. Anyway, that was a tangent. That just wound me up. But that was a seamless segue, Ando, from Hearts news into the Sunderland game. So we just dive in and talk about football.
Absolutely.
Why the hell not?
I don't know. Like I said, well, it was a class attendance. I took both my girls to the game yesterday, which was fun. Obviously, the emotional scenes, if that's what you call them, at the start. Gordon got his guard of honour, and then it's funny, it made me laugh. He was told to hit the dugout with the ball in the first seconds, and he actually managed to do it. Perfect. I was like, wow, a minute. for 25 years, we've watched you kick everybody line up on the right-hand side and you kick it out to the left-hand side. Does it? How come we can do it in his testimonial, but he can't do it in real life? It was class, though. We take a couple of seconds. Anybody that listens to this pod knows our feelings in Craig Gordon. We've made them abundantly clear. Maybe we go around the houses and say some words about Craig Gordon. Handle.
The thing I alluded to earlier on, I don't think we'll see a player again, a Scottish player anyway, in our lifetimes, born and bred, that you could truly consider world class. He's done it at all levels consistently, and obviously I'd love to keep him around. When he finally hangs up his boots, I think he'd be a great ambassador for the club. Get him into a goalkeeping coach role if that's what he wants to do. But let's be honest, he's a big handsome bastard, and he might want to dive into the media scene And if he does do that, then fair play to him. But I'd like to keep him around, as long as possible. Great servant to the club, and what a guy.
Tam?
I suppose there's not often you actually see anyone get a testimonial these days. Never mind, he could have probably had, 2 or 3 now, the length of his career has been. But as Ando said, he's the best I've seen in a goalkeeper at Hearts. He's the best academy person I've ever seen come through. Just all the best. I mean, he deserves it yesterday.
Kev?
I'll echo the same comments. I think all you need to do is go and have a look at a number of videos that are across social media at the moment around Craig Gordon and the saves that he pulled off. And that's been the day, since effectively his first appearance in a Hearts shirt for the first team, right through to just before he got injured at the end of last season. Everybody here will have a different memory in regards to a save he made, whether that be the one against Motherwell in the last minute of the game, games against Rangers, Celtic, Hibs, whatever you may think. There's always a save that sticks out in your mind, and we can sit here all night and talk of different saves, and that's just testament to the actual player and who and what he could have become. Because I do think that had he not got injured at Sunderland, he would have went on even further and could have played across Europe for one of the bigger teams.
I think whoever's done the montage at Hearts have done him dirty, but it's obviously because we're cheap and won't pay for the TV clips proper. There's some unbelievable saves in there. There was the triple save they had at Murrayfield. Was it Zagreb or who? I can't remember who it was against, but he had an absolute unbelievable trio of saves, one after each other. Might have been Ball, actually. No, because we only played them away, didn't we?
Aye.
I'm thinking about Braga, maybe. I can't remember, but 3 unbelievable saves in a row. A bit like the Levy one, where he tips onto the post and gets up and saves it, and then it was a bit like that. But yeah, he's been unbelievable. What a servant from him to have come through the youth ranks at Hearts and to go on to have the career that he has is absolutely phenomenal. I've said it before, and I'll happily argue with anybody. In my lifetime, he is the only true Hearts player that could genuinely enter the conversation as being considered world class. Now, we've had football players that have played for us that we've said are world class, Rudy, etc., and all that. They've been world class for Hearts and from a Hearts perspective. But Craig Gordon, at the height of his powers, genuinely, if you were to have a conversation to say who are the top 10 keepers in the world, Craig Gordon would have been in a shout for a number of years as being in that category, because he's been absolutely phenomenal. He's done it at international level, he's done it at the Champions League, he's done it in Europe for us, he's done it in the Premier League. He's been absolutely an unbelievable servant. And the fact that what's often missed is what you just touched on there, Kev, is he missed about nearly 2 years of football just to try to get back fit. He was basically told that he wouldn't play again, and then went on to continue his career, and he's ended himself back at Hearts. And what's strange and fitting about the testimonial, what you said is right, Tam, is that normally when you get to testimonial time at a club now, it's because you're shite and you can't really go anywhere else, so you stick at a club like Darren McGregor or whatever he was called at Hibs, or whatever it is, the unflushable jobby that no one else wants. Craig Gordon is here because he's been phenomenal, and it's different. Robbo got one because he was phenomenal and people showed up or whatever to celebrate that, and that's Craig Gordon is, been when he signed back for Hearts, he was at the height of his powers still. So yeah, fantastic. Big man deserved the day yesterday. Hopefully he's got himself a wedge from it as well, which is what the whole thing of this is. And what I enjoyed was the fact that he was actually saving the penalties at half time in that day. There's nothing better than teaching your kids a lesson. I went to the game yesterday with my girls, and we went to bowling. Went to Deer Park after, went bowling. Anybody want to guess what my score was at the bowling? It was me, versus my 8-year-old daughter and my 5-year-old daughter. Do you want to know what the score? Want to know what their score was?
As long as
you got double figures.
As long as you absolutely smashed them, that's all that matters.
The second game, I think I got like 169. I got like 5 strikes and 3 half strikes or something.
And did you celebrate every single one of them?
The guy
in their
next to
face?
me was like, "Are you trying to teach them a lesson or something?" And I was like, "Aye." I was like, "They're wee fannies. They're going to grow up to be wee fannies unless you teach them that they have to have something about them. They're not just going to get everything handed to them on a plate. They need to learn." So, and I like that Craig Gordon was doing that. He was saving the pens, wasn't he? Just letting them in because that was what was happening. So that was good. He obviously went off half a minute in. I think he said it was the advice of the medical team because obviously he does have aspirations to play first team football this season. So he went off after a minute and then the real football commenced. I was at the game. Did you just watch the game or did anybody else go?
I didn't go. I watched it on pay-per-view just because of circumstances, but yeah.
It was very pleasing. Hearts were very, very worthy winners. It actually should have been more than 3. And I don't think Sunderland even had a shot on target that I can remember. There was one in the first half for distance, actually, that Xander Clark saved. It was pretty early on, but it was never anything serious.
Like Gordon could have played in goals, Corbett, put it that way.
Yeah, he could have. You could have. You could have played in goals. And it was... I sat there and it's hard not to be smug, right? And it might be a house of cards. It might come crumbling down and Aberdeen might spank us on Monday or whatever. But we've been professional in the League Cup, right? And we've done what we've needed to do. But we've been professional whilst changing shape every 35 minutes, changing 3-4 players every game, bringing on 4-5 players every single game, changing the tactics, changing the way we play, and we've been professional and still won the games, which is very, very impressive. That's not easy to do. Look at some of the teams that never made it out the groups. Look at some of the teams that are now under massive pressure going into the start of the season because they were unconvincing in the League Cup stages. That's not an easy thing to do, and it shouldn't be lost on anyone that that's not easy to do. Now, the argument is we're Heart of Midlothian Football Club. We should be beating Dunfermline, Dumbarton and Stirling Albion. Absolutely. But Brora Rangers, Queen of the South, we have ghosts in our cupboard that will pop out and do us, and we were professional. We never let any of that even remotely surface. And my worry was going into the game on Saturday, massive step up in opposition, who've already played some fairly decent teams. I think they're playing Bilbao pretty soon, and I think they've already played Sevilla. So
the other game was Sevilla. Drew against Sevilla, got beat off Sporting, got scudded off us, and they beat South Shields 4-0. But South Shields, basically, we could pull a team together that could beat South Shields. So they're still quite in their pre-season. No competitive games yet, and that definitely shone through. But this wasn't their first game of the season, so they have got minutes in the legs, etc. So,
that was what my worry was that we've battled all the teams that would blow us, and then you roll into Saturday, and although it's not a competitive game or whatever, you lose heavily or whatever to Sunderland, and then you're back thinking, oh shit, like if it been a total false dawn. But Hearts were everything that we want Hearts to be when we've sat through the last 11 years of yo-yo football, where we've sat and watched a Derek McInnes or a Stephen Robinson or a Stuart Kettlewell or whoever it is come to Tynecastle, or us go to them and watch us do exactly to Sunderland what normally happens to us. We let them have the ball, said, have it, fine. We can have it at your back four into the midfield, no problem at all. Like, you're doing no damage, you're going nowhere with it. And then when we had our trigger to go press them, we were aggressive, we bullied them, we were all over the top of them, we were horrible, snapping into tackles that you shouldn't be making in a pre-season friendly. There was no backslapping, picking them up. It was we were in about them. And then the first 35 minutes, I think they made like 2 subs. I think they took 2 of their players off because they couldn't handle the physicality of what we were doing. We were aggressive where we needed to be aggressive. And we played to our strengths. We played to try and get up the park. We would try and carry the ball up the park by playing it through the middle of the field. If we couldn't, we'd hit a channel and stretch them and run into channels and go press them and try and win throw-ins and corners. And it's everything. It's so simple. When you watch it, it's not easy to pull off, but it's no glamorous, and that's the thing. It's not, football managers, young, inexperienced football managers, will not try and set up how Derek McInnes set up on Saturday. They would have tried to have taken the opportunity to be like, oh, Sunderland will pop it, which gives us the chance to put our foot in the ball, play passes, try and play nice triangles and try and get up the park by playing into feet and getting tiki-taka football going or whatever. And Sunderland would have just found the gaps and popped and went through it. Hearts smothered them, stopped them being able to settle, never let them get into any rhythm, broke up the play, did all the dark arts, won throw-ins, won corners, gave away free kicks, fouled, slowed down the play, everything that we used to get snookered by when people came to us. And the thing that's not to be missed is that when we did have the ball, we were purposeful and aggressive when we had the ball. There was no just knocking it back for the sake of knocking it back. Hoff, Devlin, Spittle when he came on, McEntee, the first touch turned them facing the Sunderland goal, and they were driving. Your wing backs overlapping, giving themselves options, trying to get to the byline. It was honestly class. And 3-0 flattered Sunderland. Like I said, we joked and laughed, but Braga had an opportunity in the first half where he was kind of caught on his toes and it just kind of bounced off him and went a bit wide. If he'd been a bit more alert to the fact that he could have got that ball, potentially could have scored there. James Wilson, for the 3rd game in a row, has been chronic in front of goal when he's been sent clean through and dilly-dallied on the ball and ultimately took the wrong option for not being fast enough, not physically not fast enough and also mentally not fast enough to take his chance. And Alan Forrest as well missed an absolute sitter. Like, genuinely 5-0 wouldn't have flattered Hearts. We were that good.
Brilliant to watch.
Well, I think the first goal, Cam, sums us up. I think it sums up what Derek McInnes wants to do. It's 3-5-2, 5-3-2, whatever way you want to see it on paper, the formation. But basically, they didn't want to go long. They didn't want to go long, so we pressed them until they gave it back to their keeper. The keeper had it, and then he's tried to punt it up the park, and we've won first contacts, 1 second balls, played it out wide, got the ball into the box quick, and took advantage of a deflection with a brilliant header. It's everything that Derek McInnes wants Hearts to be.
Exactly. And to be honest with you, McEntee for that first goal is exactly what you described about the big physical Hearts, the pressing from the front, then really driving with the ball. And after the 4 sort of League Cup games, I wasn't really sure about McEntee. I didn't really know where he fit in. When he was playing right back, he didn't look like a right back. But now that you see him against that sort of higher level opposition where you've not got the ball, I can see where he's going to fit in this Hearts team. Like, he's just aggressive. He's happy to take the ball and he's happy to run with it. And I think he's going to be a big player for this season, to be honest. And what he done for the start of that run to the goal, obviously we're quite lucky with the deflection, but how many times last season did we see players get into the final third and no just try and put a ball into the box type thing last season? You then get that lucky bounce that it falls to Braga and he's there to score. And it's exactly what we want.
I know it sounds daft, right? I don't think that's lucky, right? That's a mindset shift. We put them in an area of the park they didn't want to be, and we put the ball into the box early. So that's exactly what happens for there. You might have headed it out for a corner, we score for the corner, but you're making them do something. You're asking them a question. They have to do something. Last season, we had loads of those opportunities and turned back and took the safe option because the modern football manager, the young, inexperienced coach that's coming through, that's done his A license, has read all the manuals, it's a 78% chance that you'll score for a cross into the box Whereas if you keep possession, you give it away, they could counter you. So they'll turn and they'll play it back through and they'll recycle the ball and they'll start over again. Whereas McInnes is different. That when we talk about direct football, that's what I talk about. That's what I mean. Direct football. Direct football isn't just always launch the ball up the park, just hoof the ball. Right? There's a difference. That was what it was. Won the header, won the second ball, 1-2 into the box, goal. That. How many times last season did we watch us warm up, do that exact thing? 1-2, hit the byline, cut it back, goal. Then we'd come to the game, never do it once in a game. It's like, what you doing? And it's the same way the third goal. Third goal's the same thing. Put them in an area park they don't want to be. Yep. We've pressed them and they've made a mistake. We've capitalised from it because we were where we wanted to be. We were aggressive. We were doing where we wanted. We were putting them in the area of the park that we wanted them to be. So you like, when you have that mindset about get at them, be positive, take positive choices, make positive choices, I don't think that's luck, right? That is a reward for you having the ambition to go try and do something. And again, it's pre-season, right? Fine, I get it. But I've said for ages, we've lost every game we're meant to lose, win every game near enough that we're meant to win. We never have a Roy the Rovers moment. We never, ever, ever play above our level. We never punch above our level. We always just do what we're supposed to do. Celtic come in form, they'll beat us. Rangers come in form, they'll beat us. Play a European team that's got a bit of pedigree that Pilsen, they're utter shite, but they'll beat us. Like, it's the same with Heidenheim. I keep thinking about that. We had them as like Borussia Dortmund or something. They were up there as one of the best teams in Europe. I think they fucking get relegated for Bundesliga. They were utter dug. But yet we sat off them, petrified that we were going to lose, and we didn't win the game. And that's that thing yesterday. It was so positive about what we were doing, is that we were positive. We were aggressive and we were positive. And go back to McEntee, Tam, the game actually v Dumbarton, I felt there was a noticeable difference in drop-off in that aggression in the middle of the park from the Stirling Albion game where McEntee was there. McEntee dropped out against Dumbarton, and it was just Hoff and Devlin in there. And I think having the three of them there on Saturday helped massively. I think it helped brilliantly. And as much as I loved McEntee, Cammy Devlin was by far the best player in the park. He was head and shoulders above everybody on the pitch. And again, he has one simple and clear message. Nobody's took him to one side and says, I want you to be a 10. No one's took him to one side and says, I want you to be a 6. They've said, you're Cammy Devlin, you're annoying as fuck, you're wild, you run about daft, go do it. Go do it. All I want you to do, see the ball, go get it, give it to somebody else. Go get it, give it to somebody else. Go get it, give it to somebody else. And that's all he's done. And it's been superb to watch. Sunderland couldn't handle it. They could not handle Cammy Devlin. He was everywhere. He was all over them. It was class. It was absolutely class. And even to the second goal, Shanklin pretending he's injured, walking away, holding his leg as if he wasn't going to be part of the set play, and then side footing into the bottom corner for 20 yards to make it 2-0. It has been
the set piece coach, by the way. Give him a raise already.
If only there's somebody that's been fucking moaning about set plays for like 10 years or something. That's like, actually, it's not acceptable that a professional football team just chuck the ball into the box every single week.
That's the best.
Mental, innit? It's almost like we had somebody saying that.
The bit I'm loving about it is that because we've got a set piece coach now, I'm no longer going to be asked by you, can you pull some figures on the last time a corner was scored for a header? Because it's going to happen every week now. So it's going to be nice and easy, fresh in the memory.
But it matters, right? And that's what if we were all sit down, right, and talk about, if we were to draw what Scottish football is, right, we'd say, right, Celtic do what Derek McInnes does, but in a different way, because they've got millions to spend on football players. So what we see on Saturday is what Celtic do. But Celtic have got the players to be aggressive, but also play the nice football. And that's what they do. So they play nice football, but they play it in an aggressive manner. They go side to side to side to side, probing you to try to get you to come out your shape so they can hit in behind and get you. But they'll hit a channel, they'll go wherever they go. But they run at 100 mile an hour until they can't run at 100 mile an hour anymore. And Rodgers brings on the next set of folk that will run at 100 mile an hour until they've got nothing left in their tank. If they make a mistake, they mess up, they're underperforming, they don't play. It's as simple as that. That's exactly what we're going to get with Derek McInnes. Now, we're not going to play the same way as Brendan Rodgers, but what we'll play is the same aggression as what Celtic do. And that's the way to do it. That's why Rangers falter. That's why we've faltered. Rangers under Russell Martin, if their plan is to do the Mark Warburton 4-2-3-1, keep possession football, keep going side to side, don't take silly risks, blah, 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 try and score through that way, you need ridiculous quality to do that. And I don't think that that's what they've got. And that's why they always toil when it comes to keeping up with Celtic. And what we have is we've got aggression, pacey play, and we've got the ability to mix it up. And that's what was so exciting about Saturday, was that Sunderland played exactly how we would have played last year. And Hearts done exactly to Sunderland what we would normally get done to us by a Kilmarnock or a St Mirren or a Motherwell or a Ross County or whoever it was. And that was really class to see.
I know it's early in the season, but one thing that also stood out for me, and it has done over the past 4 or 5 games, is the level of fitness.
Yeah.
In comparison with previous pre-season periods. Now, if you consider last season and the season before, this was the period where we were actually going into those European games, whether it was Europa League, preliminary games, whatever you want to call them. I don't think we showed the same level of fitness last season or the season before in comparison with what we have done in the last 4 games. I don't know if anybody else has thought that. I know it's against different opposition, but I think we've looked really good. We've looked a hell of a lot stronger, faster, fitter than what we have done in the past couple of seasons.
I hate to say it, but I think the League Cup was actually a good thing for us this season. With a new manager, he's treated it exactly like pre-season should be, and it's not been it has been 4 competitive games, but at the same time it's been an extension of pre-season. It's not like he's been, and you said it a minute ago, Corbett, to be fair, I'm just copying you now, but
you're right though. But the good thing about what we've done with pre-season is about fitness, but it's about rhythm. It's about getting into your rhythm. It's a build-up. It's a momentum thing. We never had any of that last year. We never had teams to play when we went to Spain. Then we had a week to 10 days before we played Leyton Orient. Then we had a wee burst of games where we played Leyton Orient. Then we played Spurs. Then we played that weird game versus Burnley. Then we went another week before we played someone else. And it was just disjointed. And that came through in the performances. You know, the way that we were playing. McInnes has been professional from the start about what he's wanted to see, and he's had the same non-negotiables on show for every single game, to the point that actually after Dumbarton, first thing he said after the game was that was the wrong team. The first half was rubbish, wasn't good enough, that was the wrong team. That was a clear message to those players that you think that you can get away with that because it's Dumbarton, you won't play for me playing like that. And that's why I absolutely love.
I also think we've got another game this week as well behind closed doors, just to add to our pre-season sort of.
Do you know who that's against?
I actually don't. It's not really been said.
Did McInnes mention it in the post-match, or did they just mention that there was a bounce game?
He's mentioned that a couple of times, but no, nobody seems to know who it's actually against. I would imagine it's someone.
I'd be Dundee United or a Dundee, or no, it could only be Dundee United because they've got a game, haven't they?
It would be a confidence boost playing Dundee, so I would take that. But,
it could be prime Real Madrid, or it could be a bunch of hammer throwers that play on a tatty field. It doesn't matter. We'll still batter them.
But Kev, I think it's a fair point about fitness. It's not been lost on me that we seem in a better place fitness wise than we have the last few seasons. And this was trivial, but I was melting my dad's ear about it on Wednesday when we were at the Dumbarton game, right? Take your minds back to, we played Celtic at Tynecastle. They beat us 4-1. Musa Drema scored that toe poke for like 20 yards or whatever it is. We got battered after them. But there was a point, remember, it was about 10, 15 minutes to go. VAR stopped working or the linesman's, whatever it is, stopped working. So we had a total break in play for whatever it was while they fixed either the earpieces or whatever was going on, and everybody in the stadium was a bit like, what's happening here? What's going on? And it was like maybe a 5-6 minute break. After 30 seconds in playing football, Rodgers kicked the balls on and Celtic started passing the ball, but started keeping themselves moving, kept passing side to side and just doing what they were doing, running about. We stood in a circle at centre circle just talking. Never kicked a ball, stood still for 6 minutes, and then game started. And then obviously Celtic were winning anyway, so it didn't have an impact in the game. But I remember standing thinking to myself, how ridiculously unprofessional is that? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, players warm up because their muscles will cramp. Some of those players have been running about for 70 minutes, standing still in a freezing cold night. They're gonna stiffen up. They're gonna start to fatigue just by doing nothing, and we just stood and did nothing. Came out at half time Wednesday. Dumbarton came out late. We were out, and I don't know if you'd noticed that when McInnes was making the subs, McInnes actually came out onto the park at half time on Wednesday and started talking to Kizaridis and Carjota or whoever it was that he brought, whoever else he brought on, but he was talking to them about bringing them on, and then obviously they went back into the tunnel. So Hertz come out and Dumbarton won it, and McInnes came out and immediately went like that, like threw his hands up like, what the fuck you doing? Move, and started kicking balls on so that they could start kicking the ball about. And I was like, trivial, but just shows you the difference between having a manager and a coach, someone that's experienced, knows what it's all about, knows what the game's all about, identified it immediately to be like, why are you standing still? Professional football players, you've just been sat down for 15 minutes, you're playing a professional competitive game, get moving, get lumbered up, get moving. It's why are you standing still? And it was like trivial, but I was like, that's everything I'm going to be buzzing about over the next wee while as an actual manager, a manager
Just
day in
level.
manager things. Unreal. So, anything else catch your eye on the game on Saturday? Braga. Looks like
Yeah.
it's going to be real deal.
I was going to ask you a question on Braga. What did you think of his goal celebration?
It's been well publicised. I don't want to talk about it.
Well, it might have been well publicised in our own chat, but because you what's the word, extricated yourself for the community chat, I don't know if everyone else has heard this goodness. So is it maybe worth spending 2 or 3 minutes on this now, or are you actually just wanting to sack it off and move on?
It's unacceptable. There is no place for that at Hearts. There is no place for that at Hearts. But if he scores 40 goals in a season, I'll take me being embarrassed and annoyed 40 times a season if it gets us to where we want to go.
If he gets to 40, will you also celebrate exactly the same?
I'll do it. Me and him will do it in the plaza. Right?
You kidding, man? Your knees will turn to dust.
I got 10 on the back and I'll sue in section N. That's what you'll see what happen next year.
Did you hear McInnes say he's getting fined for it every time he does it? So
good.
The players are fine. I'm like, that's class.
Did they actually say that?
Yeah. They asked him what he thought of it, and he said he's not a fan of it, and that the players are fining him in the dressing room every single time he does it. So I was like, fantastic. But in all seriousness, though, he's like the striker version of Cammy Devlin, and he's in the club shop every day. Like he's sitting in his house right now with Jock the Jambo, Hearty Harry, having a few cans, watching fucking Back for the Brink. Like that is so he'll be in the diggers tomorrow for his breakfast. He is gorgy as fuck now. He loves it, man. He absolutely loves it. And again, it's one of those things that folk was all doom and gloom last year. Shanklin looks 10 times the player he was last year. Looks so happy to be where he is, playing with a smile on his face, scoring goals. He's got people running about him that can dig him out. You know, that if he needs to, he can score a goal or they can score a goal. Like, the pressure seems to be completely off him, and he's been phenomenal. His link-up play, his class, his hold-up play against Sunderland was unreal. He was playing as a 10 pretty much, with Braga being the sort of focal point. but he was the link between everything, and he was brilliant. And Braga's just a handful. Like if he plays how he's playing now in the Premier League, he's going to score goals, because he's everything that players hate playing against, which was class to see. And Kizaridis as well. He's like everything that we've wanted from a winger for a long, long time. His first thought is to take players on, get to the byline, not scared to shoot as well. Looks like he's got end product as well, which is superb. So loads and loads of positives. I thought Harry Milne, again, superb. Again, and it's not to single him out, but we need to look at the right back situation. It's the only sort of not negative, because I thought Adam Forrester played fairly decently on Saturday, but you just look for a wee bit more competition in that side of the park, given that we're not. Well, Derek McInnes reckons Borchgrevink will be back for Aberdeen. Might get some minutes in the Bounce game, but again, just that'd be one area of the park I'd probably like us to look at. But everything else was superb. Halkett, unreal, brilliant. Frankie Kent, superb. Steinwinder looked great. Yeah, it was just a really, really, really assured performance on Saturday. I was buzzing, absolutely buzzing. Anything else?
Very much. Was it Middlesbrough 06 we played?
Yeah,
pre-season. It was very much like that. Felt it in terms of new signings coming in, excitement, good level of opposition.
But 1-1 that game, wasn't it?
It was a draw anyway. I thought it was 2-2, but it might be 1-1. Yeah, sorry.
Did Stephen Simmons score for Hearts? Is that who?
Christ, I don't have a brain like you, so
remember it was like Presley was a trialist. Remember he was on the bench as a trialist because we had an issue with contracts or whatever it was that was going on. There was it was random. We had a couple of players that had to come on as trialists because of their registration hadn't come through yet, or with paperwork at the SFA hadn't come through. I'm sure it was Stephen Simmons that had scored the goal. Might have been Roman Bednar, maybe, if it's no Simmons. But aye, free tickets as well, wasn't it? It was free to get into Tynecastle, complete sellout.
Why'd you think I was there?
Aye. Exactly. Are you checking to see who scored? Is that what we're doing?
I'm struggling though.
It's not like you.
Still the first
Normally right on it, man. Normally right on it, aren't you? Right. Well, if we've got nothing else to say about Saturday, we might as well do a wee quiz before we go into talking about the season ahead. Or do you want anything in the League Cup that we want to discuss? Other than that we just won 4-0 every week, just for a laugh.
Just that it's only a matter of time. So I don't know when the final is, but clear your diary because
14th of December.
There you go, 14th of December, a couple of days before my birthday. So aye, I'll see you boys
the day after I fly out.
Shut up, Kev. I know you love expensive, fancy holidays, but nobody cares. It's all about the victory parade. You're gonna have to cancel your holiday.
That's it.
It was 1-1 with Andy Webster. There you go.
Andy Webster that scored.
Yes.
See, I knew it was one of all the excitement of all these new signings, and it was somebody that had been at the club for ages that had scored. They're like Yakubu and Jonathan Woodgate and all that were all playing as well. Was it Ned, the guy with the blonde hair in the middle of the park?
It wasn't Ned Fed, but I know the one you mean.
No. Aye. What was he
Uh,
called? That was going to annoy me because he was a class, that guy. What was he called?
Also wore a hairband because obviously there's no bad player.
Yeah.
Was he not like Croatian or Serbia?
It was.
Aye. He was for that side of the world. Aye. Well, that's going to annoy
Then
me.
would be
An M was it or something?
No.
Fuck.
Great podcast, Mike's.
Mate, I can. I just
What's for a podcast?
I thought we've been doing really well up until now. Now we've hit the buffers. But...
We should know it. We should know who that is, but it was. I'm sure he played like that guy. I can't remember what he's called.
Mendieta. There you go.
Mendieta. That was his name. Mendieta. Right. League Cup navigated pretty well. I think that I said the bit James Wilson, he's going to learn that stuff from Shankland, isn't he? There's a couple of times, and Dumbarton, like, you're getting to get some good spaces, and instead of shooting, tried to cut the ball back a couple of times when it was probably better if he just touch and shoot. And it was the same on Saturday. I don't know if you've seen it. It was like the mix up in the middle of the park that both the Sunderland players went to go for it, and Shankland won the header and sent Wilson clean through on goal. But he took too many touches, and I think Sunderland managed to get back and stop before he even got a shot away or whatever, where probably just needs to work on that, being a bit more, like I said, bit more quicker in mind, but also that burst, that Robbo thing, being quick over 5-10 yards is really important for a striker, and he just needs to work on that to get a bit better. But he's young. I'm not going to hold that against him. He's young and inexperienced. These are the type of things that will help him grow and turn into the player that he could be.
I think that's been it, isn't it? It's just a case of he's actually starting to think about it a little bit too much.
Yeah.
Whereas if you consider some of the goals that he did score when he sort of came on the scene as such last year, they were very, very much the opportunist. Whereas now he's actually, looks like he's just thinking about it a bit too much. Go back to that sort of tactic of, just as you rightly say, touch and shoot.
Yeah, and he's been looking too much to play in either Cabangu or Shankland or whatever, and I think that's what he was trying to do on Saturday. He was looking to if he could slide Shankland in, when actually you just put your laces through it and touch and shoot type of thing. So, right, do we do a quiz? Let's do a quiz, right, and then we'll preview the season.
Oh, nice.
So just to keep it fairly simple, each of you will get 2 questions, of which there are 2 points available. With then anybody who is tied at the end of those 2 questions, it's nearest the pin will come out on top.
Not gonna lie, Kev, I'm already confused, but just keep me right.
That's
problem,
fine.
mate.
15 Kevin Jameses. Is that right?
Is
that one of the answers?
That's exactly it. So with next week being first game of the season, I've went with that as our subject. And Tam, I'm going to be really nice to you, right? So I'm going to give you the first question, which is on last season. So you really should be able to remember this one.
Christ. That's even worse when I get it wrong, isn't it?
Magic, mate. That's. I'm just setting you up for a fail, right? That's exactly what it is.
Cool.
Question for you, Tam, then, is who did Hertz sign on the opening day of the 24-25 Premiership season, and where is that player playing now?
So that means they've left.
Oh, well done, Tam.
So it's either going to be Oyegoke or Boateng.
Okay, which one are you going with?
It was Boateng.
Well done, Tam. So there's your 2 points. Nice and easy, mate. See?
And nice he is easy. Playing. Oh, did you need somebody who's playing somewhere else?
You know where he's playing.
Plymouth.
Correct.
No. Yeah, okay, cool. Thank you.
There you go. Nice and
easy. I was going to try and put you up by saying it was Salazar.
You were shaking your head. It was double bluffing me, man. I was like...
Salazar guy.
There's Corbett getting inside your head quite quickly and quite easily. Corbett, you're next. Who did Hearts face in the first Premier League match of the 23-24 season, and what was the result?
St Johnstone, 2-0.
It's different level. Different level.
Shankland and Oda.
I'll take your word for it, but you only needed to give us the score and the team.
Remember Lowry made that mad pass. Boyce ran 1-on-1 with the keeper right at the end. Cut it back to Shankland. Shankland tapped it in.
Fair.
Okay, good. Ando, Hearts won 2-1 at home to Ross County on match day 1 of the 22-23 season. But who scored the 2 goals? Point for each.
Listen for typing, boys, because he's not got a camera.
Yeah, he's on mute anyway because he kens what he's up to. He just showed us what the new app looks like. So he's like, he's going to tell you what colour he boots they had on and everything.
He's still on mute as well. Give him 10 seconds.
Fucking hell, man! I've been chatting away there. I was pouring myself another vodka, so that's I didn't want you to hear the splishing.
Googling the answer.
Sorry, I googling the answer. I know Barry Mackay got one, but I couldn't tell you the other.
No problems. No problems. So you're right
No.
with one, mate. Barry Mackay did score. The other scorer on that day was Alan Forrest.
And one other thing that I did want to say, because obviously
Jordan
I've said
White
it and
scored
it's not
for
been
them
heard, is
after like 4
Corbett.
minutes.
Unbelievable Hearts brain. That's unbelievable.
Remember
It's
it
called
was,
the Spectrum, mate. That's it.
Aye, I ken it was. Remember we had it. It was like I think Jordan White scored because we, tap it into like an empty net or something like that. We make a total Ricky Hunt it on the byline or something like that, and then he ran in and scored. I think we go 1-0 down.
Aye.
I think we might have, because I think we were absolutely buzzing that we were flying, and then we went 1-0 down, and I was like, oh, class. But it was definitely, I'm sure it was definitely Jordan White that scored for Ross County.
It probably would be. He always yeah.
I'm pretty sure Barry Mackay scored an absolute peach as well.
He tended to do that though, didn't he? Barry Mackay. He tended to actually score half decent goals.
See, actually got a club yet?
No, I don't think so.
Hope no.
Don't think so. Tam, back to you for your second question. Who are Hearts' opening day opponents in the 21-22 Premier League season? And who scored for the opposition? So 21-22, who scored for the opposition?
I can't even remember last week, mate. 21 was Premier League, right?
Ah, right. Now you're starting to get to it. I love the way your brain sometimes works, mate.
So, let's say... I honestly don't know. We will go...
So we were in the Championship if it was that one, and it was Dundee at home, and we won 6-2.
No.
If we were in the Championship.
Nope. 21.
We're not in the Championship.
Nope, back up.
Oh, are we? Oh, right, okay.
Was it? Can I jump in?
Yeah, sell it again, wasn't it?
Well, clearly Tam doesn't know the answer, so you're welcome.
I was at the game.
No, it was Celtic.
Corbett gave me the answer. To be fair, it was Celtic. Yeah, 2-1. John Sewell
scored for Celtic.
Oh, for Celtic. Kyogo. No, he came on and was terrible, actually, didn't he?
Oh, you're right.
I can't actually remember.
Right.
Was it a centre mid? It was a centre mid for them. McGregor, maybe?
No. Answer is Gary Ralston.
Aye.
Gary Ralston.
Gary
Ralston. And
Anthony
also,
Ralston.
we talk about Gordon being done dirty. He made an unbelievable save for James Forrest in like the 90th minute or something like that to make it. Yeah.
I was one of the
Stephen scored the opener.
That was one of the reduced attendance at that game as well, and I can't remember it, so that was good. Well done.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go.
Shit, that's right. It was Postecoglou's first game in charge.
That's right. That's right.
And rumours are the Green Brigade are still picking their teeth up off the Gorgie Road after that game too. Let's move on.
Yeah,
allegedly. Corbett, in the 2021 season, Hearts faced Dundee in the opening game, as you've rightly just said, 6-2. Yep. Who scored the first goal for Hearts that day, and what minute was it? Now, I will allow you 1 minute either side of the actual answer.
So was the first goal a free kick? Was the second goal a free kick? Because I think Kingsley scored a free kick or something. It was an absolute belter.
Yeah.
Andy Halliday in the 6th minute.
Very close, mate. It was Mikey Smith, and it was the 4th.
Oh, aye. And that was a peach as well.
Correct, mate.
Peach too.
It was
a long ball over the top, win it a volley on the right hand side.
You would think that maybe the team had went out that particular day after a certain chairman had maybe riled them a little bit. I might be wrong.
So it had Mikey Smith scored, Kingsley, Halliday, Jordan Roberts too. Jordan Roberts, I'm sure, scored as well, didn't he? A pure scuffler for like 20 yards that the keeper should have saved.
I forgot he was even a thing. So
Aye.
Aye.
And
Boys
so
with a
that,
penalty.
why? What about Elliot Freer played that game? Remember that guy? Remember that guy?
I'm glad we're just saying nobody's that we've never heard of now, and that
Aye,
could be good.
That is it. That is it.
Bring back Elliot Freer.
Aye.
Fuck.
Please
So what
don't.
did I get? A
Please
minute
don't.
either side? So it was a minute half. Come on.
Tough, mate. Tough at the top. And I expected better of you, I'm not going to lie.
Apologies.
Right, Andrew, your last question. The opening game of the 2019-2020 season was, as you rightly said, you were out by a year anyway, was against Aberdeen. But this time at Pittodrie. Who scored for Hearts that day? You got a point for every player you can get.
Nah, mate, I'm tapping. I didn't even know. Like,
Jamie Walker, Stephen Naismith, beat 3-2.
Well done, Corbett.
fucking hell, man. That's next level.
Well, we were
That
1-0
is-
down, then we went 2-1 up and then get beat 3-2.
Aye, correct.
Disgusting.
How do you
correct.
even function at work? Like
He doesn't.
your head is just full of hearts.
Can
That's
that
it.
Matrix
There's nothing else
computer
in there.
screen? It's just
That
a
was-
maroon version of that.
Mate, when you travel 400 hours to get to Aberdeen, wearing shorts and t-shirt because it's
fair.
the summer, it's freezing fucking cold. You get battered by 80 seagulls. Your team go a goal down, then go 2-1 up, and then you lose 3-2. I'm sorry, but that's the stuff that gets etched into your brain. That's a core memory. You don't forget that shit. You don't forget that shit.
The only thing I can remember at Aberdeen away is trying to clear the chemicals off the train table before the conductor comes along. But that's it.
It is a horrible place to go. It's a horrible team, a horrible town. I've said anything north of Dundee, just tarmac it. It's fine.
Sheep
Knock
shaggers.
it down. Just knock it down. Turn it into a big, massive, multi-story car park. It'll be
In
fine.
fact, can we just do that? Anything above the River Forth?
Aye, that works.
Aye, sound.
That
Right.
works.
So I'm on 0 points then. No,
Oh, no, you got one, mate. You got one. Corbett got two. However, he did
I don't
answer
get the
your
extra
two
points
questions,
considering I've answered all the questions that they couldn't get right now.
You've answered the questions that you weren't supposed to answer, mate. Which, you could take the moral victory here. But as in regards to the way in which the scoring works, Tam, you actually won.
No, absolutely not a bit of it.
So
Right,
if you're
Kev,
looking at a
Kev.
league table, Tam, you want to print it up now, and then just print it off, put it up on your wall. You'll always be you'll be that one person.
No,
Class.
I'm absolutely not having that. Right, the amount of knowledge and just the sheer depth of knowledge that Corbett displayed there means he gets the win. End of.
Game's
I
the
don't
game,
care.
Ando.
I
Game's
don't
the
care
game.
if
I'll
I'm
take-
technically
I'll
got
take the
right.
I'll take the moral victory. It's all right. It's fine. We all know who won.
The scary thing is the actual tiebreaker question. Should it have ended up as a draw, I think Corbett would still get virtually to the actual right
Let's go.
number.
Let's go for
Go
a
on,
game
then.
anyway. Go on.
Go on then,
How
Kev.
many? What was the attendance in that Hearts Celtic game,
Hell.
which was under the, of course, COVID days? Tam
Was
was
it?
one of those particular individuals, so he might have a little bit of an advantage.
Like
But
4,700 or something like that. It was some random obscure number.
I actually thought
Aye.
it was less than that. I thought it was like 2,500 or something.
6,000. I'll go.
No, you weren't allowed more than 5,000 at the games. I didn't think it was like a percentage of
Oh,
your
okay.
stadium or something in it.
5272 was the actual
The actual official
attendance,
thing.
according to the old SPFL's website. But I did find that quite interesting.
What I find interesting is it was a game where we gave absolutely zero tickets to those rats and we beat them. I would say let's explore that more often this season. Give them absolutely nothing. See what happens.
Here.
You'd sell out Tynecastle and we wouldn't have to listen to their shit or smell them. And if we battered them, superb. Why not we try that since we're experimenting with reduced allocations? Just give them nothing. Right.
There you go,
Cool.
Tam. Well played.
Well done, Tam. You get the victory. 1-0 Thomas.
For the first time ever.
Good time. Good time.
Start the season, nobody will care by the end of it. You'll be bottom of the league.
We've got a Tam anyway now because we're going to do new season. We're going to do our predictions for the 2025-2026 season?
Aye. Obviously, we usually do this, and then we say we're going to come back to it at the end of the season, and we never do. So we're just going to do the exact same anyway. We usually have who will be the manager at the end of the season, but I'm just going to omit that one this year because big physical Hearts are back, and unless McInnes gets like, I don't know, the Barcelona job or something, he's not leaving us. So, aye. But we've got basically 5 categories: player of the season, signing of the season. I've put in biggest surprise of the season. So a player that maybe has been here for a while, or a player that you're maybe not as excited about signing wise, but you've got a feeling might do really well this year. Then we've got league position and cup performances. So, let's kick us off with player of the season then. So, Corbett, you want to kick us off?
Simple.
Yeah.
Lawrence Shankland will be the player of the season.
Yeah. Thought that would be the case, to be honest. Kev?
Just to be different, we've already spoke about him quite a bit tonight. I'll go Braga.
Yeah. No.
It's Shankland, simple.
And to be fair, I think I am the exact same as well with Shankland. Yeah. That's kind of why I added in biggest surprise of the season, because that's I thought this would be the case.
I think evidence to go by already. What's he get? 4 goals already?
2 penalty.
That is on the new app. Let me check that.
Nice plug. But you can just
Braga
tell.
and Shankland tied 3 even in competitive games only.
Yeah.
So,
sorry,
it
doesn't count the goal they scored on. But you just see the way he's moving about the park, the way he's playing. Like when the cameras are on, when the flick is switched for messing about and playing and practicing to actual this is game time. I think he's going to be phenomenal. I think he'll be a big year for Shankland this year.
I agree. We've also obviously got signing of the season, so let's not have Shankland in there. That's the signing of the season. Obviously, he's re-signed, so this is our new signings out of them. So, Ando, you want to kick us off?
Yeah. Bit of a curveball. I'm going to go Oshie McEntee.
Nice. I like it.
I think from what I've seen of him so far, albeit very, very limited minutes, the easy option would be to pick Claudio Braga, but I don't know. I just think Oshie McEntee.
Corbett?
Kizarides, I think, will be the signing of the season.
Yeah, I would back that up. I think so far he's definitely looked the part. Some of his crossings, the one he put in for, it was for Halkett's header back to Braga against Stirling was a first time ball, was fantastic. So yeah, I'll join Corbett with Kizarides.
Yeah, I'm similar in terms of want to go for a more attractive option. I do agree with Ando with McEntee, but I'll go with Braga myself though. I think, as we just said,
that could come back and bite you in the ass when we sell him for 10 million in January.
Who, Braga?
Aye.
If we sell him for 10 million, he's cited a season by
massively
cemented instantly as signing of the season if that happens.
So as I say, biggest surprise this season. So it could be somebody who's been here for a while. We think will really step up with McInnes, or one of the signings that's maybe, I don't know, went under the radar a wee bit. That's you think will sort of perform. Corbett, you want to kick us off?
Craig Halkett. I think Craig Halkett with a proper manager who have proper training, proper fitness regime. I think we'll see the best out of Craig Halkett this season. I think Hearts are infinitely better side when Craig Halkett plays. We're a better team. We're more physical, more aggressive. I think he'll be the biggest surprise of the season. I think people will be quietly surprised with just how good a player he could be. So, there you go. Craig Halkett.
I'm going to somebody we probably already know a lot about, but I think Devlin could be your biggest surprise. My only sort of thought is do we keep him? Because I know he's out of contract at the end of the year, and you've got a lot of players now in that particular position, especially if you're looking at the Icelandic boy coming in as well. So it could be in the shop window given his performances so far.
Yeah, and like you said, unless the club are actively trying to sell him, I think he'll be a player that Derek McInnes already spoke about it from the minute he came in to where he is now. He's been mega impressed with Cammy Devlin and the performances or anything to go by. I've said before, as soon as Cammy Devlin adds goals to his game, he won't be playing for Hearts for much longer. That's his. If he plays to his strengths and people stop trying to fill his head with nonsense that he's a football player, win the ball, get it to someone else, he'll be absolutely superb. And when he gets the opportunity to shoot. But yeah, it's a fair shot.
He has been shooting a bit more, to be fair.
Yeah, he had a good opportunity on Saturday. It was a good block, actually.
Yep. Therefore, Ando?
Kingsley. Just for the sake of picking somebody different, but for entirely the same reasons as Corbett, I think it will be a race between Halkett and Kingsley. I think the only thing that's going to stand in Halkett's way is his injury record, because he's obviously made of eggshells. And I think Kingsley is probably a little bit more robust. So for me, it's going to be him.
Nice. I'm going to go with Harry Milne. After Penrice leaving, I thought, obviously it's big boots to fill, and he's looked absolutely fine replacement at the moment, which is fine as good. It's not like a bad thing. I think he'll really kick on, and I think it'll be a case that we won't actually notice too much of a difference without Penrice going forward.
Yep, and he's been someone that's looked very assured in the games that we've seen so far. Obviously, everything Saturday, Monday will be a big test as to how the players play. I honestly think we will steamroller Aberdeen on Monday. I don't think that. Honestly, I'm not even joking. I don't think they'll be half baked like us last year, given that they don't have competitive football where they are in their own pre-season preparations. They'll have one eye on Europe. We are hit the ground running, primed and ready. I don't think they'll. I honestly think that we could see something decent on Monday. Obviously, stay tuned for Tuesday when I'm in here.
Like, jokes aside, I think you're right. Like they've played Cove Rangers and Ipswich so far, right?
Beat up Ipswich, didn't they?
Yeah.
I lost 3-1, and they beat Cove Rangers, which you would expect them to do 2-0.
We'd beat Cove Rangers.
Aye, exactly. And not we as in Hearts, we as in the four of us alone on this pod would beat Cove Rangers, but they're in for a body blow.
Right, Kev, league position.
Second.
Ando?
Well, Celtic are in a disastrous state because they've not signed anybody yet, so we're waiting for that to be a total meme. No, we're not winning it, but second. Genuinely, I say that without tongue in cheek. If it's just going to be second.
I go next, so I don't go last. I'm going to say third and just be a bit more pragmatic here.
Shut up.
I'm also. I think that we'll be third. If we can bruise the Old Firm this year, I'll be pretty happy at that. But I don't see Aberdeen being in the conversation, being more about Hibs. They look fairly decent. They've added to their squad. They've retained the players that they wanted to. As much as people will hate hearing that, we have to take advantage of the momentum that we have right now. So I think third will be a very, very good season, and that's where we need to be. I said that we've said this before. We need to make the peaks and troughs smaller. We need to flatline and find some consistency, because I've said 1,000 times on repeat that the club that can break the back-to-back thirds will be the ones that cement themselves there, because you look at the mess that it leaves the other clubs in. When Hearts went through 2 managers last season because we were nowhere near third, The season before, Aberdeen went through 2 managers. The season before, Hibs went through 2 managers. So whenever the team that finishes third has a good season, it has a disastrous impact on the other teams. So we need to establish ourselves as the third best team in the country, without an argument, without yo-yoing up and down, consistently finish third. So third, but I would quite like us to give the Old Firm a bit of a bloodied nose. That would be quite refreshing.
Agreed. And cup performances. So where will we get to in each?
The final in both.
Nice. Kev?
Semi-final of the League Cup and final of the Scottish Cup.
Should add, are we winning either of these finals?
That's for another pod.
Yeah. I said already we're winning everything, so yeah. Up double.
Corbett?
I think we will win a trophy. So yeah, I'm saying League Cup. Let's start with the League Cup. If we win the League Cup, we'll win the Scottish Cup. There you go. Double. Fuck it. We're winning the double.
Yeah. There we go.
I think we'll get to the final of each as well. That's what I'm going to say. I'm not going to say we'll win it, but
you got to be pragmatic. It's all about the draw, innit? It's what it is. You've got to look at the draw. So we have to take care of St Mirren, which won't be easy. But never ever is. I think it's went to penalty shootouts the last couple of times that we've played them there in the cup, and then you're just hoping to try and avoid one of the Old Firm en route to the final. You'll have to beat one of them, so you might as well beat them in the final. But I think that'll be a big thing for Hearts, is that we've looked over the last 11 years, we've seen what Falkirk, what am I talking about? Cali Thistle, they beat Falkirk in the final, but we've seen Cali, St Johnstone, Hibs, Aberdeen, Ross County, they win the League Cup. We've seen all these teams win trophies, do you know what I mean? And we've been nowhere near it. So that's something that needs to be rectified.
Agreed. That's everything in terms of predictions. Cool.
Magic.
Conscious of time, but one wee final thing that we spoke about when we were doing forthcoming signings. Do you want to have a quick fire round of who were unloading before the transfer window? So if you minus off goalkeepers and new signings, because obviously you're not going to get rid of any of them, a number of players that have still got left. Be interesting to hear your thoughts on who do we bin or who do we put up for sale, and who do you think will go, sort of thing. So we'll go through them quick fire, or we save it for next week.
Well, I think the list is endless. I think Danda will go, Vargas will go, Benny will go. I think
Carter will go.
Forrest. I was going to say, we go through them top to bottom. Alan Forrest.
I think he stays.
What we're doing? We're going through the squad list, or just players that you think should go.
Well, so I'll go through the squad list of like minus goalkeepers and new signings. So alphabetically, I've got them listed. Alan Forrest, stay or go?
Stay.
Beningame,
go.
Stay.
Sell.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Sell. Yeah, that's what we're
Blair
saying.
Spittle.
Sell.
Callum Newenoff.
Stay.
Sell. But that depends. If you sell Spittle, you keep Hoff. If you sell Hoff, you keep Spittle. It's one of the that's how.
That's why I went the opposite way.
Fair enough. Bear in mind that there's two.
He's injured again, although they say it's just precautionary or whatever. But I don't think we can kind of keep him fit for any length of time. So sell.
I was going to say Cammy Devlin, but he's in contract till the end of the season, and I think we're all agreed that he's going nowhere because he's brilliant.
Unless somebody wants to spend millions on him now, then.
Everyone's got a price at this point, don't they? So.
Yeah.
All right. Craig Halkett.
Stay.
Finlay Pollock.
Loan.
Sell.
Loan.
No point. There's no point loaning him out again. Just sell him.
That's what Hearts do, mate. Harry Stone's 48. He's been at Hearts for 33 years.
Testimonials next week, actually.
Testimonial next year for the most loaned player ever.
Frankie Kent.
Stay.
Sell.
Wow.
James Wilson.
Loan.
Stay.
Loan.
Okay. Kenny Vargas.
Sell.
Michael Steinwender.
Keep.
Because we've got him on contract until like the end of 2028 season. So
Keep.
Stay for me, yeah. Yep.
Stay.
Mr. Drama.
Sell. He's
Right.
got the
Right.
lack of
Right.
fun.
Don't even sell him. Just let him go.
Just let him go.
He's got, yeah,
They
that's what you order.
got
Two
one
pals
guy,
in the way, Chris.
another guy on the list, but I'm taking him off the list is Stephen Kingsley because we're keeping him. Because I've already said that he's going to be brilliant this year. So
To be honest, I would sell him if something came in from. But that's a different thing.
that's fine,
No,
Tim.
we need that side of the park. It is just literally Harry Mount
true.
or Kingsley, so he's not going anywhere.
And then finally, and this is just senior players, Jan Dander.
Sell.
Sell.
All right, cool. That
And
wraps
that's,
that.
I guess that's, everybody will say it's nothing against them. It's just that's the way we are now, unfortunately.
It's a numbers game.
We'll do
And my
that.
wild card for this right now is I think between now and the end of the transfer window, we would happily take money for Elton Kabangu if money came in.
Mhm.
I don't think he'll play. I don't think he'll play with the new boy about to come in. I honestly think that if we could get money for him, we would sell him.
I don't even see where he kind of fits in with the way we want to play.
He's just one of those guys that everybody in pre-season, he's probably had the least impactful pre-season, given that, Shanklin's scoring, Wilson scoring, Braga's scoring, Casaridis is scoring. I know he scored a couple in a couple of the bounce games, but he's had chances and not took them, missed sitters against Hamilton, missed sitter against Dumbarton. So, yeah, could potentially, if we could, that's wild. Like, I don't think it would happen. Sign him in the summer window and then sell him in the summer window. But if we could get up money for him, I don't see why not. You also never mentioned Xander Cartram there as well. I think that he's potentially would get sold this transfer window as well.
I put him down as a new signing because we only got him in January or something like that. But I know there's a couple of people on that list, but figured we'd probably keep him. But no, you sell him.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think collectively, virtually everybody is sellable. The one that you would, there's then a handful that you want to keep, but I understand where you came from in the list. Unlikely that you'll bring in, Braga, for example, and then sell him in the same window. But stranger things have happened.
Yep.
True.
Cool. Right. Well, we probably won't podcast now. What will we do next Sunday? Preview the Aberdeen game?
Why not? Because there might be...
Might be a bit quick, that's something.
Well,
we've done an hour and 40 minutes tonight, though, so
it could be a short one, Nick.
True, but the fans need entertained with content, Tam, and there might be something worthy because the first round of league results will have already happened. We will be the last team to play, so
yeah. Cool.
Might be worth
we'll
a wee... Aye.
Right. Thanks, boys. It was good to see you. Big physical Hearts are back. Take it to the bank. Corbett's absolutely buzzing off his wee titty bangers. 11 years of vindication. I've been talking about this for 11 years, that the answer is in the room. The answer is obvious. Stop trying to be smart. Just go and get fucking Derek McInnes and stop messing about. And we've finally done it. Get it up, all yous. I was right. You'll see me at Section N. I'll just be sitting like that. Just basking in my glory. A big physical Hearts, and I was right. Go greet the fucking Poundland Jobby Nielsen that's over in Belgium sucking Lee Johnson's knob, and he's meant to be a Hearts man. He's meant to be a Hearts man, and he's fucking crawled into bed with that Hibs rat and his wee shite hair transplant. Get up, you Robbie. I hope you have a shite night. See you later. Bye. Doggerels. Right, boys. I'll see you later.
Catch you after.
See ya.
Gorgeros.